This is the online Barton Chair in-service for Human Care's patient transfer system. For those of you who are not familiar, the Barton Chair is basically the replacement for a Hoyer lift, and it is a supine transfer system that can be done by a single caregiver for bedbound patients in the home. It's very customizable. It can tilt back and recline completely, and every point of contact of the chair has pressure-reducing foam padding, so it's great for patients who are prone to wounds or have any skin breakdown. The headrest is adjustable, as you can see. It can be raised, it can be lowered, it can also be folded in, so if you have patients who have really poor posture and need help sitting up straight, you can just fold the headrest in and it'll help them sit up properly. The armrests can also be adjusted. They can be raised, so if you need to push the chair up to a dining room table, it'll make it more convenient. And the leg rest can also be raised and extended. There's a footrest that comes out, and also a heel pad to help prevent against wounds on the ankle or heel. So let's see how a transfer works. Basically, the chair folds down flat into a stretcher position, and then you push the chair next to a bed. Hospital bed is preferred for height adjustability. Bars go into the side. Transfer bar goes across those bars. And as you can see, there's clips attached to the bed sheet. Those clips just attach to that bar. And then the crank comes out of the transfer bar, and all you do is just crank the patient across with the clips attached to just a regular non-fitted bed sheet. And then you can get the patient back into the bed in the same way. And it only requires about 5 pounds of torque to do it, so even elderly patients or elderly caregivers will have an easy time. There's 3 different sizes. This is the H250 for patients up to 250 pounds. There's also an I400, which is, of course, for patients up to 400 pounds. The transfers all work the same way. And then the final size is the I700, which is for patients up to 700 pounds. The H250 and I400 usually have no problem getting through standard doorways. Let's talk about qualifying factors. So Medicare will cover a chair for patients who are bedbound, non-ambulatory, and non-weight bearing. And we qualify patients based on the clinical documents that you send in to us. So to order one, you can basically fax or email the patient's demographics, OASIS, and a clinical note stating why the patient requires a supine transfer. So basically a statement that explains why they can't use a Hoyer lift. So either because of dementia, they're too scared of it, or wounds, anything along those lines. Basically, Medicare wants to see their mobility status. You can also just contact your local human care rep. So for those of you in Virginia, DC, and Maryland, that would be me, Lauren Hagee. You can either send me a text or give me a call, or just email me directly, and then I'll go ahead and take care of acquiring all the documents for you. We also take care of acquiring the order as well, so that's one less thing you've got to worry about. And what kind of training is available for caregivers? So once we set up a delivery date, our tech will come out, set up the chair, and train whatever caregivers are there at the patient's residence to make sure that they know how to use it. And repairs and maintenance, repairs are covered for the 13-month rental. So this is a 13-month cap rental. After that time, they own it, and we'll take care of any repairs during that time period. And then what if a patient received a similar item within the past 5 years? So if they currently have something like a power wheelchair or a Hoyer lift, if they own it, they can just hang on to it and get the Barton at the same time. Otherwise, we discuss swapping it out. So usually if a patient's getting a Barton, they don't want to hang on to their Hoyer lift, but we'll talk about that with the family before we even show up with the Barton chair. So how is this possible? The Barton actually has its own specialty item or its own unique billing code with Medicare. This means that the 5-year limit on ordering new equipment does not apply. It also allows us to provide Barton chairs for hospice patients that's separate from the hospice's per diem. So basically, the hospice doesn't have to pay for it, it doesn't come out of their per diem, and as long as they're a qualifying patient, Medicare will still cover the chair. Does Medicaid cover the chair? Only as a secondary insurance. Most private insurances will cover the chair, and we will never deliver a Barton chair to a patient unless, obviously, insurance is covering it, unless there's some sort of prearranged agreement like an out-of-pocket purchase. So that about covers everything. Please feel free to call me or text me or email me directly with any questions. If you want to see the transfer video clip on its own, it's on YouTube as well. All you have to do is just search 40-second Barton Chair transfer, and it should be one of the first videos that pops up. The fax number is also below, so if you just want to go ahead and refer a patient, you can fax it directly to that number. Thank you for your time, and please stay safe.